Hey, GLP-1 plus sides community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better and my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper. With results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Welcome to the Plus Sides Podcast. We're back again. As you can see, Jernine and I are by ourselves, womp womp, but that's because Kat is in France and she has been making videos of her doing butt stuff in France. Yes. And it's not what you think. It's butt exercises so that she can avoid Mounjaro butt. So if you want to avoid Mounjaro butt, which apparently is a thing, do butt stuff with Kat Carter 7 on TikTok. She knows all the butt exercises.
Yes.
Yeah, she's definitely doing butt stuff in France. So it should be some fun videos coming around.
Can't wait.
Yes. So we have a special episode today. We have 2 people from our community. One is Kelsey, who you may know. And if you don't, go follow her. We'll give all the information for you to follow everybody in the bio notes or in the show notes. And then we're going to have her as our guest host to help out while Kat's gone. And then we also have Michelle, or Michelle Says, from TikTok. Although I think she's in all the places in all the land, but that's where I find her. So we'll put her information in there too. But Michelle has lost a tremendous amount of weight. She has a lot going on in her life and she's really at a new stage. And so we're going to talk to her about how that all came about and,
Right.
what were her kind of underlying issues and how did this medication help change her life to get to this stage? So the what you're saying here, Upgrade You, that is a nod to Beyonce. Thank you, Janine. And it's GLP-1 style. So that is what the focus of the show is. If this is the first time you're joining us, where you been? We've been looking for you. Where you been? We're so glad you're here.
I
Yay.
mean,
Yeah.
well, they haven't been where like they were supposed to be, but
I mean,
hopefully
clearly.
now they are.
Yeah.
Hopefully now
But
they
now
are.
they are. It's all good. It's all good. But we're glad you're here. But here's the goal of the podcast. So we were born out of TikTok, out of the TikTok community, GLP-1, Mounjaro, wegovy, Ozempic, all the things. Focused mostly on obesity and related diseases. So that could be, PCOS, that could be type 2, all these different things. And we all came together kind of with this common thread and have this really strong supportive community in TikTok. And it's just nice, because we're all from different places all over the country, if not around the world. And we really want to be here to support each other. However, we all realized that we were really tired of the media taking our stories and our testimonials and just turning it into, frankly, just garbage and trash, to chopping it up to fit whatever narrative they wanted to push, to fit whatever agenda they wanted to accomplish. And we all just got sick of it, And so what we decided to do was start this podcast, scrappy AF, but really trying to get out there, be loud, change the narrative, because it's all wrong. So we're here to set the record straight, hopefully try to change things. Yes. And then also we want to reach people that aren't on TikTok, that may struggle with the same things that we all struggle with. For one, to let you know you've got a home and you're not alone. And two, it is not your fault.
Not your fault.
So we're stoked to have you here. If you don't know me, because you haven't been here before, again, I'm Kim Carlos. I'm Dinosaur Monkey Farts on TikTok. Long story, but it's short and simple. A kid made it up in 2020. We were doing digital learning and I was losing my mind. So it kind of stuck. That's what it is. I'm not changing it. I've lost 62 pounds now. And I take Wegovy currently. However, I've taken a few of these different medications to treat my obesity and what we likely think is an autoimmune that I'm still investigating, because you know how that goes, autoimmune people. And that's something that I've really been working on. And of course, there's been a lot of mental healing that goes along with this, because I do have a binge eating disorder. It's weird to even say that because I haven't had an episode since I started this medicine. So it's clearly it was all related to my physiology, right? And we've learned that through all the doctors on the show. But I imagine if I stopped the medication, it would return because it was related. But I don't have it now, and I've never been more free and happier. So I just want everyone to feel this way, So anyway, that's what we're here for. And we don't have Kat today, but Janine, tell us about you, and then we'll invite our special guest.
That sounds like a plan. Well, hello, everyone. Again, if you don't know, I am the Janine. I'm Janine Trott, the Mounjaro flight attendant, and I am a type 2 diabetic. I'm a member of the TikTok GLP-1 community. I'm on Mounjaro. And on top of being a type 2 diabetic, which is now controlled, thank goodness, because of Mounjaro, I struggle with obesity and also an autoimmune disease of Sjogren's syndrome. So I started my journey in January of 2023, and I found just the best place on earth on TikTok. And here I am. Voila.
Huzzah. And we're so glad you're here. It's super cool. Janine and I both live in Atlanta. So does Kat, in case you guys don't know, but we all do remote because Atlanta's huge.
Yes.
So
it will take me 4 hours to get to Kim, and we live in the metropolitan area.
Yes, it's the worst. Anyway, okay. So now that all intros are complete, we are going to move on to inviting our guests. I'm going to invite our guest host and our community guest, because they're both from our community, but we'll bring them on in. Kelsey said guest host.
Hi. Hello.
Hi,
and Michelle said guest.
Hello.
Look at us being silly.
I know, right?
So silly.
Welcome to the Plus Sides podcast, ladies.
Welcome, ladies.
So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
Of course.
So, Michelle, I'm sure at some point we'll get into a lot of like nitty gritty and want to talk to you and ask questions and things because you got a lot going on. However, I really think it's important that everybody, like I said in the intro, has an opportunity to tell their story unfiltered and uncut. Because it's very important and it's your life, you know? So I'd like to give you that space now. And
Okay.
then when you feel like you're at a good place, we can start having a conversation. How's that sound?
Okay. I can be
Okay.
long-winded, so you can cut me off at any time.
Girl, here's the way you say it in corporate
Kelsey
America.
knows.
You say brevity
Go
is not
for
my
it.
strength. That's what I said.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is hard. Where to start? So I have always been obese my entire life. I grew up overweight. I wasn't somebody who was a binge eater. I assumed that I had a problem with food just because of the way I was treated by being obese as a child and overweight and made fun of for my weight. And my mother was naturally thin. Actually on our wedding day, she said she weighed 90 pounds and her nickname was Bones in high school, or skinny or something like that. And my sister was always naturally thin, never struggled with her weight. And I felt like I ate similarly to them, but I was overweight and obese. And I was treated as if I ate too much. You know, it would be like, oh, are you sure you want to eat that? Or no, you don't get that, or, things like that. And obviously in a loving way. And it honestly wasn't until the last few years that I truly realized that it wasn't my fault. It took a really long time to kind of unpack that. So I tried every diet under the sun. I spent many, many years on keto, eating no sugar, no carbs, no fruit, no fun. Everything is cauliflower. But I yo-yoed for so many years. I think I once lost, I want to say 45 pounds. I was 19 and really restricting what I ate and working out excessively. And I think I got down to 150-ish pounds, something like that. And it was the first time in my life, I think I was a size 10, which is so wild because I just went below that now. And I'm like, it's still mind blowing to me. But so went through my whole life like that, had children. I didn't have any issues having my son. I had my son in 2009. He's going to be 14 this year, which is so wild. About a year and a half later, I had a miscarriage at 14 weeks. Had a couple early miscarriages after that, had my daughter. And in between, I was yo-yo dieting, Weight Watchers, keto. I was vegan for a while. Pretty much anything that you could do, I've tried. Actually, right before I had my son, I forgot to add this, I had lap band surgery, which I've talked about, bariatric surgery. Lap band was a new procedure then, and I was, desperate for help. And so in 2008, I had the lap band put in. And I think right before that, I want to say I was at my highest weight and I was almost 250 pounds, right around there. And I went through my pregnancies with having a lap band in. And lap band was not a fun lifestyle. It was very much, you can't eat the healthy foods, salads, fruit, things like that would easily get stuck. Even just eating anything. I'd be at a dinner, a fancy dinner with a bunch of people, maybe even for work. And I'd have to excuse myself to go to the bathroom because food would be getting stuck. So it was a very uncomfortable way to live for a really long time. And then in the later years, I think actually in total, I want to say I lost maybe 30-ish pounds with the lap band. I was right around anywhere from 200 to 220 in between my pregnancies and things like that. And then I started dealing with ovarian cysts, pretty big ones. I was dealing with mystery pelvic pain. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I had a teratoma cyst on my ovary that is a complex cyst. I was diagnosed with something called Lynch syndrome, which is a genetic, a gene, a cancer marker, primarily for colon cancer. It's like the BRCA gene, but it's less known. But it includes a whole family of cancers. So not just colon, but ovarian, breast, brain, skin, all kinds of cancers in that family. So it was kind of during that time I was doing on a health journey to figure out what was going on with me, what this pelvic pain was coming from, why I was dealing with ovarian cysts. I was still struggling with my weight, and was trying everything. And no matter what I did, I kept gaining. I had my lap band taken out. They thought maybe that was causing me issues, and that wasn't it. I had my left ovary removed because of that cyst that was suspicious looking. And it was, eventually they just decided to remove the whole ovary. And then eventually I had a hysterectomy. I had my uterus taken. And again, I was still dealing with I had one ovary left, which they were trying to keep because of my age and for the hormones, because I was, I think, 36 or 37 at the time. So I had the right ovary in, and I was getting regular scans for cysts and for tumors, essentially because of my ovarian cancer risk as well. And so I think it was December 2021. I went to bed one night and had this horrible mystery pain. I thought it was my appendix. I had just had a scan of my ovary, and I had a cyst that they were watching that, was still pretty stable, and ended up in the emergency room, and the cyst had grown. I think it was around 14 centimeters, something crazy. It went from 2 centimeters like 2 weeks before to 14. And it had caused ovarian torsion. So essentially it was filling with blood clots and blood. And it was, really not fun. And it was causing torsion. So it was twisting the ovary. And I think I had over 1.5 liters of blood internally that I had bled by the time they went in to take it out. And so they were like, this doctor still wanted to save my ovary. And I'm like, just take it. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. And he said, well, if it looks healthy, I'm going to go in and try to save it because you're still young. And I still would like to, keep it. And I woke up and he was like, no, we had to take it. It was black and blue. And so after that, I was diagnosed with PCOS kind of during the process of those few years. And so many things made sense. I had like chin hair and just different things growing up that I like noticed that other people didn't have that I had. I always carried my weight in my belly, and just so many things started to make sense to me that I went, oh, that's what PCOS is. And I thought, well, now that I don't have any ovaries and everything's been taken, I'm fine. But I was still struggling to lose weight. I did a whole round of 75 hard last summer, 2021, something like that. No, 2022. No, the summer before last. But anyways, I finished the whole entire thing, which was really intense, working out, exercising, diet. And I think I lost 20 pounds total. And then I gained it back. So I was looking up medications for PCOS and looking up, can I still have PCOS without ovaries? Is there anything I can take to help me right now with the PCOS related weight gain? And I was looking into metformin when I stumbled upon an article about Mounjaro. And it was, I think, July or late June 2022. So it had just come out. It was a brand new medication. And immediately I read everything I could about it. I joined Facebook groups for it. I went on TikTok, which is what I always would do, is what's on here about this medication. And I think I found one person who mentioned it on TikTok. And I thought, you know what, let's do it. And started the medication. And I think 10 days later, I was I felt hope for the first time in so long that something was actually working. And I was like, this is a miracle. Like this, I just knew it was going to be life-changing. And I made a post about it on my TikTok and kind of, went from there. But yeah, I've lost just under, I think I'm just at 75 pounds. I think it's 74.8. So I'll say 75 pounds total. Thank you.
Wow.
It'll be 1 year on July 8th. So I'm just under 1 year on Mounjaro. I think I just got into I'm 149-ish pounds right now, which is completely mind blowing to me. I texted Kelsey. I was like, I don't know what this is like. I've never seen a number like that on the scale. I've dealt with a lot of excess skin for a while, even before I started Mounjaro. I think from gaining and losing weight so often throughout my life, and also the 2 pregnancies, I also developed really fast. I went, because of my weight and I think PCOS, I went from 0 to 60 and had, skin that needed to go even before I had children. So I was looking into a mommy makeover procedure prior to losing weight this last time, was looking into high BMI doctors, and I'm still in these high BMI plastics groups on Facebook. And now that I've gotten down here, I went ahead and booked the surgery. That the time is now. I've lived too long in a body that I wasn't happy in, and it's time. Okay, I'll take a breath now.
That was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so nice to actually see it all mapped out that way, because like I watch a lot of your videos, but at the end of the day, you can only talk for 3 minutes at a time. So it's not like you can hear the whole thing like all pieced together usually,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it was nice to hear
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
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 I can imagine that would have been really scary going through that with all the things that you went through. You know,
Yes.
I can't even, I mean, and I have stuff, but like that's some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that like, I think also knowing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if it was me and I knew that I had a gene that would put me in a place where I could have a lot of different things, I would probably want to make the most of my life, you know? And I think, you know, it makes sense when you get to a certain point where, you know, it's like, I really do want to make my outsides match my insides, you know? And it sounds like
Mhm.
you're in a really good, healthy place now, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people like are out there, and I too have lived life in a bigger body my whole life. And so I know exactly what you mean about that, like extra skin. I just kind of feel like it gets reinflated and then I
Yep.
lose it again and then it
Yep.
reinflates. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep.
Like, and I'm at the point where I for sure before I would do anything have a lot more to go. But I'm a lot larger than you, so that makes sense. But I think that it's something that like I've always wondered if I would do or not, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So what in terms of you mentioned something about the high BMI groups.
Mhm.
What's the deal with that? Or do they not want to operate when you have a higher BMI?
Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
I think from my understanding, yeah, because there are risks at a higher BMI, health risks of plastic surgery, and knowing what it's like to be in a bigger body. And you see so many women who have similar body shapes as I and even larger, where they still have a lot of hanging skin, even though they are a bigger person, and
Yeah.
they deserve to have that skin removed as well. And it's a little bit riskier of a procedure. There are doctors that specialize in that. There's a
Mhm.
handful, and unfortunately, they tend to be more expensive.
Of course.
But I follow a lot of these doctors, and I see these women, and they're beautiful. And I think for a lot of plastic surgeons, they're, at least my opinion of, I'm not one, but my opinion, just being in these groups and following them on TikTok, is they want you to be at your, ideal weight. That's what they'll all say, be at your ideal weight. And I think that is a really difficult thing to state to somebody because no one's really, very few are at their ideal weight, and many women and men are happier in a bigger body or comfortable or know that that's where their body wants to be, and it doesn't mean they deserve to live with excess skin
Yeah.
that's causing them issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Cause like for me, and it might just be that I can't conceive of it because I've never ever been small. Right. But I can't even conceive of being not plus size. You
Yeah.
know, oh, see what I did there? Plus size.
Yeah.
But no, like, I mean, I can't even like conceive of that. So for me, it's like I would probably always have this BMI that's scary. And like if I'm at a weight where all my numbers are good and my health is good and I'm moving around good, but I have skin, I think it would be really shitty if I couldn't get it removed if I wanted to, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
one the other day of a woman who I think was 300 something pounds who had plastic surgery, and she looks great
Wow.
after.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It is possible. I was actually just telling Kelsey yesterday that I still think of myself as a plus size person. That I can't fathom not being in that category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be bizarre. What about you,
Or the
Kelsey? I don't-
excuses. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I was asking you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like for me it's like I'll think of an excuse like, oh well, I only fit into those size 7 jeans because they were super stretchy. Like I'm not that's not really my size. Like or I was only able to buy that shirt a size medium because it's it's looser fitting. Like I think
We're losing you, Kelsey.
Your audio is kind of breaking up.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay. I can edit.
Okay.
Maybe
Let me maybe I should
try without
take
your
them off.
headphones. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if you
Let me
can
try
edit.
to disconnect them if I can figure that out. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We have this stuff happen all the time. We usually
Oh.
leave it in unless it's really bad because we're just humans talking about human stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're not fancy.
No,
Okay. How's that?
you're on mute.
Oh, you're on mute.
How about now?
Yeah,
Huzzah! We can hear you again.
Hey, this is better.
this is better.
You know, the
Much
fancy
better.
headphones, you think that they're going to be great. And then, maybe not.
You know, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So you were saying about the jeans being stretchy.
Yes. Yeah. So if I am putting on a size 7, I make up excuses for myself saying like, oh, the only reason I can fit into those is because they're super stretchy. The only reason I can buy a top in a size medium is because it's like looser fitting. Yeah. And I just like make up these excuses in my head because I'm like, that's not real. That's like, I don't want to get my hopes up or like get this thought in my head that I'm suddenly in these smaller sizes because I just can't believe it. Like I haven't been a size below a size 10 since I don't remember ever buying below a size 10.
Yeah.
I think it's so similar. I do the same thing, Kelsey, but I think I also resented so long people in smaller bodies who didn't have to try, or my friends who could buy smalls and mediums, that it's so weird to all of a sudden think I'm in that category that in a weird way, I feel resistant to it. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. Cause it's like, how can you relate with people you can never relate to?
Yeah.
Like, and then what does that mean with the people that you did? Like, does that change your connection with them? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Michelle and I were talking about this, something similar yesterday too. We were walking and I like caught a glimpse of us as we were walking like through this shopping mall. And I was kind of like, we looked like, the thought that went through my head was like, when I was in a bigger body and I'd be shopping and I'd see like 2 really thin or 2 really fit looking, friends walking through. And I'd be like, I wish I looked like that. And that's the glimpse that I had of us. And I was like, I like couldn't look at it for very long. It like took me off because I was like, that's what I look like now. Like I look like that person that I like wanted to be. And then I instantly get like really sad about it. And I start thinking, I'm like, oh my God, are there any people that are like in bigger bodies that could be feeling this way around me? Like then I get this guilt about it. And it's like just this like being so
there
happy.
is so much empathy.
Yeah.
Well, you feel that because you have dealt with it and that was your norm. And that was like all of our norms. Like I ordered a size large t-shirt that is literally a dress on me right now.
Yeah.
And
from the plus size, quick plug, from the plus size
merch store. and it's literally a mini dress. But but I've been so used to ordering large or extra large or a size 14 or a 16. And now I'm like, okay, well, what do? I still haven't really purchased any new clothes.
Yeah. And like, even when you had that shirt on and it was as big as it was, and it was super cute, but you were wearing it and I was like, hey, and you were like, I think I need a size smaller. And I was like, I think you need 2 sizes smaller. Do you know what I mean? But like your brain just
It's
had not
huge.
gone there. You're like, no, like gives me extra
Yeah.
things so I can tie a little loop. And I'm like, but you don't need to. You know, it's so funny how we are with clothes. Like,
Yeah.
and I think I mentioned this before. Like for me, I was a 4X before I started, and I just bought a 2X, and that was a really big deal for me because I'm like, before that is a 1X. Like, what does that mean? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like an XL? Like, I can't even imagine. I can't even conceive. But the fact that I could even get this far, so a lot of people are like, that was their big equal 2X, right? But for me, my big was 4X, you know? So the fact that I'm down, and it took a year, you know, but the fact that I'm down to a 2XL was like a really big deal for me. But when I have all these other clothes, especially when the seasons changed, I had to buy more clothes. I just had to like lean in. I actually bought just a tad what I thought would be too small. And now they kind of fit perfect, but you know, 2 sizes down. And that was, I like panicked doing it, you know? And then I had all these other clothes and I'm like, do I keep them? Are my like Thanksgiving fat clothes? Are they my fat clothes when I gain my weight back? Right? Like, what if I don't have this medicine later? Like, and I need this, like, because of my biology and physiology. Like, what if I don't have it again? And then why am I going to have any clothes? And I literally had to like talk myself out of it. Like, I was like, okay, I need to just like make this not emotional and put them in bags. And I legitimately packed them up, and I had my husband to go do it because I couldn't even do it. Yeah. And I was like, I need you to just go we didn't throw them away. Just to be clear, I share gay environment. No, we gave them away to one of the drop bins that you could do because I could not make a transaction. I could like not go in and sell my clothes. And it's not because I liked them. I didn't like them. I didn't like anything I wore. I was just trying to hide like at the end of the day, you know? So I wasn't wearing things that were really cute. I wasn't wearing things with much color. You know, I just felt bad. I didn't want my picture taken or anything like that. Yet for some reason, couldn't let go of these clothes. It is such I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, mind fuck, right? It really is. Like it is. It's bizarre. You know?
It is.
Yeah. And then Kelsey, you had mentioned wanting to do or looking into the mommy makeover too, right? Like that was something you had considered?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I'm definitely still considering. You know, I have been in a bigger body for most of my life. And I say that, but when I go back and I look at myself in high school, I wasn't actually that big. I just had a lot of really small friends. But
did they think you were big? Did your friends think you were big?
Of course. Yeah, I was way bigger than all my friends.
My
I was
friends
like,
did too.
really? Yeah. I was like
I was cute as hell. I don't know what I was fussing about. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 165 pounds, like kind of like what I am now, but they were all 90. So it was like, oh, you know, you were the bigger friend. So I've always, even though I don't think that I was like necessarily super overweight or super obese in high school, I felt that way because I was surrounded by people who were just very thin. And it wasn't until after high school when I started really gaining weight. But I did the same thing. I fluctuated my weight up and down, up and down, up and down a million times. I have, you know, I've had 3 babies. I've had 5 pregnancies. My last baby was almost 10 pounds. So my skin on my stomach, all my babies were big. They were all like 8.5 to 10 pounds, almost 10 pounds. So they're big babies. Yeah. But I think that most of my stretched skin is because of the pregnancies, and from the yo-yoing up and down. You know, I can't tell you how many times I lost 30 pounds. Like,
so many. What is it with that number, y'all? For me, it's 32.
30 pounds.
Also, it's like I can lose 30 and I can gain 30, and I can lose 30 and I can gain 30. Yep. But like outside of that, I have to have help. Yeah.
Like I know it's so crazy. And I've had plastic surgery once before. I had my boobs done when I was 21. So I've had that process before. I kind of understand what it's like. I need to get them redone, especially from gaining and losing almost 100 pounds now and having 3 kids. Like I have to get them redone. Yeah, for sure. But I've been through the, you know, kind of down the plastic surgery like road, I guess, before. But now I'm less than I was when I did it.
Oh wow.
But so it's interesting. They try. Actually, it's funny too because some plastic surgeons kind of tried to talk me out of it because I hadn't had kids yet. Yeah. And they were like, "You sure want to do this now? Like, don't you want to wait until after you have kids?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, and that's how I feel like with Michelle is like, don't wait anymore. Like
no, don't wait anymore.
Body that you want, like let's do it. Like go for it. Because a lot of plastic surgeons too, or a lot of people will say like, "Oh, well, don't you want to be, you know, at your goal weight for longer? Like, don't you want to maintain it?" And it's like, well, why? Like,
well, and like then we're just waiting again, right? Then we're just in this pattern of waiting to gain it back because it's what we've done always forever, right?
Yes. I've had so many people say to me, well, why don't you wait a couple years? Like, see if you don't gain the weight back. And I go, what? Why? Because what could potentially happen if I do gain it back? Then I'll never get this opportunity. And I've waited. I've been looking into plus size, BMI doctors to do this. And so it's such a weird thing for people to say. I also scheduled the surgery when I wasn't at a goal weight, and I don't have a goal. It's kind of hard. I know when I set my weight app, I said, 150, because in my head, I thought if I get to 150, that would be mind blowing. I couldn't even fathom being 150 pounds. And then I got to 150 and I thought, I'm still technically overweight. Like based on, and not that those BMI charts mean anything. They're terrible, but it's awful. But I said, it's hard for me to decide what a goal weight is because of the excess skin and because of the way my body looks and feels. It's kind of just a smaller version of what it's always been. I look down and I've got this, spare tire around my midsection. And so I don't know what a goal is. And I felt like it feels right to have this surgery and to schedule it. And I talked to my doctor about it and I said, if I lose, 10 pounds or so, is that going to impact my results? And she said, no, absolutely not. Plus or minus 20 pounds is never a problem. And even beyond that, I've seen plenty of people who've lost significant amount of weight after having a tummy tuck. Well, they don't recommend that. In these groups, I have seen that sometimes we need that extra nudge of confidence to then do more to take care of our body. And I've seen it time and time again. In these Facebook groups for women with mommy makeovers. So that kind of sealed the deal for me. And I said, let's do it. There's a window of time and I'm going to do it.
And then you have that coming up
window.
Soon. Yeah. And you have that you said coming up soon. So like, I'm curious,
next week
in terms of, that's so soon. In terms of like when to take your medicine, I've been seeing some things bopping around and TikTok being like, hey, don't take it for a while because of gastric emptying. What does your doctor say?
It's so interesting. Like 4 to 6 weeks now, because at first they were saying 2 weeks, but now they're saying that they're still finding food.
Yeah. And I think the thing is there's no protocol for it anyone has. And so I had a colonoscopy 2 months ago and I had, I was on Mounjaro. I'd heard the same things. And my doctor at the time said, don't take your shot 2 days before. I said, okay, well, I'm going to space it out 5 days before. It was shot day was Friday. I think my colonoscopy was on a Wednesday. So I said, okay, great. I'm just not going to change anything because it'll be 5 days. And I followed my colonoscopy prep like they had instructed. And I did feel, so I started it the day before. I didn't start it early or anything like that. And I did feel like there was a small couple hours of time. I think I was texting Kelsey, worried that I wasn't going to be cleaned out enough for my procedure because it felt like things were moving slower because I have Lynn syndrome. I have to have regular colonoscopies. I've done this before. I felt like things don't seem quite the same as when I've done it in the past. However, I was fine the next day and I was fully prepped. So definitely talk to your doctor. In hindsight, I think now I know for next time, I'm definitely going to start it just a little bit earlier and maybe space out my shot a little bit more. But I don't think that I needed 4 to 6 weeks. When I talked to my doctor at my pre-op appointment last week for my plastic surgery, I brought up Mounjaro and she said, she didn't really have an opinion on it. She wanted me to talk to my prescribing doctor. She said, well, maybe a week before, maybe 2 weeks. It seems like there really isn't a consensus as to what to do. So I was, just made a decision. I did my shot a week ago. It'll be 2 weeks essentially when I have surgery. And they tell you not to eat or drink after midnight. I'm going to make sure that I stop eating earlier in the day. And I think, and I'm going to talk to my prescribing doctor. I've sent him an email, so I'm just waiting to hear back. And then I'll relay that, but I don't have 4 to 6 weeks. So, I've also in these tummy tuck Facebook groups, I have seen other, people on GLP-1s or Mounjaro specifically talk about their experience. And I've seen several who didn't stop anything, didn't have any issues. And I've seen several who did 2 weeks, some who did a week. And it seems like everyone's been okay. So it seems like it's
almost like one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. Like, like that's
like
the thing.
you're just
we make these best practices, like less, move more, and we're like, apply it to the most complicated thing there is. And that will be the answer. No. Like, it's like,
but now, Michelle and Kelsey, now, since both of you all have gone to consultations, and Michelle, your procedure is next week. After the procedure, has the doctors, have they said approximately how much weight you'll lose from these procedures? And then will your prescribing physician for Mounjaro, will that put you in maintenance because you're having a procedure done that may have additional weight loss too?
Yeah, I think they say, and my doctor says, I think they say 4 to 8 pounds is typical for a tummy tuck. So I think that's what I'm expecting. It could be more, but I know that after the procedure, there's a lot of swelling, and you deal with swelling for sometimes a year. So because of that, you can't wake up and expect to be, jump on the scale and weigh whatever they took off less. So I think I will be at maintenance. I don't really know what that is like yet. And I did a video on this the other day where I said, I don't know what it's like to not need to lose weight. And that's kind of a new experience for me to have to wrestle with. Because I think once I have that surgery, I will likely just be wanting to maintain, and exercise and tone up and do all those things. But I don't know what maintenance will look like for me just yet. This is my first time going.
It seems like it's going to look different for everyone. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yeah. And I did a TikTok. It's so funny, the ones that people respond to. Like, I did a TikTok where sometimes I just run my mouth, y'all know. And I was like, shocking. And I was like, riddle me this. Like, is the reason I can't set a goal weight because my entire life I've either been gaining weight or losing weight, or gaining weight or losing weight. So I can't even imagine what that would be like, because if I'm not doing one of those, what am I? Like, and then of course that one, the one where I'm like, that was just me running my mouth. People are like, yes, because a lot of people feel that way. Do you guys feel like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember, I think, Michelle, we were talking the other day, and I was like, I'm almost at maintenance. Like, I struggle every day thinking, should I start today? Like, should today be the day? Because some days I look in the mirror and I really like the way my body looks. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to lose anymore. This is where I kind of want to be. And then the other half of me is like, maybe I'll gain a little through maintenance. You should lose a little bit. But I was talking to Michelle about the other day, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, once I'm at maintenance, do I need to find a hobby? Like, I got to do something. I'm like, not.
You can start a podcast.
Well, you can just make more TikToks. You can just do all of that. But I mean, maintenance. But maintenance is so uncharted territory because there is no clinical data on it, and the only reason, I think it's so interesting to talk about is not just because I'm almost there, but it's like, what do you do? It feels like almost like a complete mind shift. Because you're so trying to reach, you're just trying to see what the journey is going to be like, right? And then once you see it, and I had originally said, my goal weight, Michelle, was 150. Now I'm wondering, should it be 150? Should it be 155? Because my doctor said, and I'm not sure if you all said this, that if you lose an additional 10, that gives you flexibility. And, and you want to be at a weight that's comfortable to maintain. You don't want to be at a weight that you're having to eat carrots and celery every day. Just to be at that number, right?
Right. Celery's nasty.
I will never be. I don't. Celery and peanut butter is good, but I will never. I never want to be in a place where I have to eat carrots and celery to maintain. It just sounds terrible.
Right.
I think I worry a little bit. For me, I'm really trying not to link it to a number on the scale, right? So I'm really trying to link it to I'm starting to look at my body, and I'm starting to see my legs, the skin on my legs. I'm 32, so I feel like I'm a little young, but I feel like the skin on my legs is already starting to kind of I'm starting to kind of see that. And I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know that I want to lose much more because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. That's just another thing to have to deal with. And I like the way that I look now. I never in a million years thought I would get to this point. So part of me struggles with do I want to lose more, or is it just because I'm chasing a number on the scale that's probably irrelevant? Whether I lose 10 more pounds or not, what is that really going to do? You know, so I
Dale's a liar
daily.
Wow.
Y'all poop so much. I think people forget when they weigh daily how much shit you've got in you.
Yeah.
Like legit.
So
we talk about poop here, friends. If you can't handle it.
I can't weigh daily. I don't know how people do it.
Either.
I can do it. Yeah.
You can do it?
Really?
Oh my God. Some
Yeah.
people love it.
It doesn't
they do an average at the end of the week and stuff. Yeah.
So I always talk about this, but I weigh myself every day. And when I hit a new low, I have a Bluetooth scale. I'll go, oh, okay. And I'll let it connect to my phone. And then I go, cool. And I log that in. And I have multiple I have my Bluetooth scale, but I love the Happy Scale app. So I'll go into that, app and track it. And if I get on the scale the next day, and usually when I do that, the next day it's going to be up again. That's what it does. It does this, little kind of like roller coaster ride down. And so during the week I'll weigh, and I just, hey, it's up. And I just don't count it because we fluctuate so much with water, with waste, with bloating, with so many different things that people immediately jump to the conclusion, like, I've gained 2 pounds in a day. I'm like, you did not gain 2 pounds of fat in a day. You were that weight. You were that low. It's just your body's fluctuating and you will go below that again. And I don't let my brain focus on the ups. I just go, oh, it's not down again. And I don't count it. And so every Friday I write down, even though it's weird because I track it in so many apps, I have a piece of paper where I write it down and I track the lowest weight for the week. And I go, okay, this is where I hit. And I know my body's, going like this still a little bit, but that's the low that I got. And that's how I count it. So when you see 0 weeks where I didn't lose, I might have actually had a up, it probably the scale was higher, but it had gone, I'm just counting it as a 0 because I'm fluctuating. And that works for me in my mental health.
Yeah. And I think what I learned, and y'all remember like when we had those funny TikToks and some weren't so funny, we were like air grievances. And I made one about weighing every day. And I was like, I'm worried about your mental health. Don't weigh every day. It's just poop. It's just poop. And like legit, like 98% of the people knew I was kidding and laughing, right? But some people were like, actually, for me, and they described it very similar to you. And I was like, I didn't know that. Some people, it helps them, makes them feel empowered and in control, And like me, it makes me feel like I'm completely out of control. And so it's like everybody's journey is very different. You know what I mean?
I think for me, like if I were to weigh once a week, I think if I didn't weigh myself for a whole week and then I got on the scale and I saw it go up, I'd be like, I feel like that would like take me out. Whereas like if I do it every day, then I'm like, okay, I know this week I'm going to be a little, like it like kind of sets the stage for me. Whereas like, otherwise I'm just like, what?
Yeah. It is a lot of like learning about your body too.
Yeah.
Like I think, for me, like I've learned that if I think I don't know it hurts really bad. So I'm pretty sure I'm ovulating, or I'm trying to, you know what I mean? My body's like, you're 43, but we're going to try. Right. But it hurts really bad. But like I noticed before, or like, no, it's like right after I ovulate and then a week after my period. Those are my like true numbers, and anything in between is just bullshittery. Like it just, it's arbitrary. So I feel like when I'm weighing myself, I'm just like lying to myself because it's up and it's down and it's back and it's down. You know what I mean? And I just can't even handle it anymore. Like my body. Yeah. So I find those seem to be what you have to learn, right? Like what is your kind of true, like you said, like I know on this day, like it's probably my lowest and that's what I track, and I think everybody has to learn that. I'm curious, Michelle, you've talked a lot in your videos about like with Mounjaro, you don't really have much of an appetite suppression, but you're still taking it. It's still fixing the biology, like within your body or physiology, if you will. And because of that, you're continuing to lose weight. I'm super curious, like that's crazy to me.
I wouldn't say I don't have much of an appetite suppression, but I definitely don't have the thing that I hear from people where they go, I can't eat, or I'm forcing myself to eat, or I post what I eat in a day and people will be like, I can't eat that much. And I don't think I'm eating a lot. So I'm always weirded out by that. But I've never had side effects on the medication ever. I've been very, very fortunate to never feel any side effects. And so when I've talked to friends or other people that have extreme nausea, extreme symptom, side effects of the meds. I don't understand it, but I think with that, and I don't know if this is just in general or if this is just me, my biology, with that, I also don't have the extreme positive effects of such strong appetite restriction that not that I want that, but you know what I mean? I don't have that either, but I definitely have restriction. I definitely feel, for me, I get hungry as normal, as I always would, but I get fuller much faster. So I don't feel no desire to eat or less desire to eat. I still eat and I get fuller faster. But nothing in the way I've heard other people describe it. So I've gone up in dose pretty quickly, mostly because I was new and didn't know what I was doing, and we all were new, and there wasn't as much data out at the time. And my doctor said, "Yeah, that sounds good, great." But I wasn't losing particularly fast compared to other people. I wouldn't say I was losing slow either, but it just felt good. And so I kept going up thinking that's what I was supposed to do. But I definitely know that I'm eating, not as much as I was before, but I also feel like there are other things metabolically that were going on with me that this is sort of balancing out. And I think Kelsey and I were talking about this yesterday, where we just feel more balanced in general. Were we having this conversation, or maybe I was having it with somebody else? But I feel like Mounjaro has helped me feel very balanced in my moods and in life. And I don't know if it's the medication, if it's the weight loss. There's something that's going on.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
You have that too? You have that too, Kelsey? Yeah,
absolutely. I talked about this too before, but I feel like it's balanced me in so many different ways. First of all, my cycles are regular for the first time in my life, which has been a whole new thing to have to get used to. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this.
Isn't that weird to want that? I feel like it's so weird.
I'm like, I mean, it's
great. It's my period to be regular, but
yeah. And then it's actually regular. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do this every month. This is crazy. Like I never had to buy tampons as much as I do now. Like, I'm like, what? I'm out again? Like these lasted like 2 months. Like so I'm just not used to it. I'm used to having like 3 a year. And it's just, it's been a transition to have to do this every single month.
Gotcha.
It balanced me like more physically in that regard. But also I notice, I have 3 kids. They're 6, 3, and 1. So they're all really little. And I just noticed that I am enjoying spending time with them so much more now. And I was talking to another friend about this, and she was saying with PCOS, like, because your hormones are more leveled now, you're not constantly battling these highs and then these crash lows. And just like losing my patience. I don't lose my patience as easily. I'm much more like, I truly enjoy like being with them and like doing fun things with them and just like hanging out at home with them. Whereas I felt like before, and I feel like it's kind of, I know that I've never been a bad mom, but I felt like I couldn't be as present with them because my moods were so all over the place that it was a struggle for me. My husband's a firefighter, so he's gone sometimes for 3 days. So during those times, it would be I would be exhausted when he would come home, and I'd be like, I gotta go. Like, you gotta take him, and I gotta go. And now it's just like, I don't know, we're so much more on a team. We're on the same page. Like, I'm just loving being around them and loving raising them. And I really feel like PCOS stole that from me. Like, it stole those, like, really enjoying those first few years of motherhood. And obviously I had moments where I was like, obviously loved it. But for the most part, I was always thinking like, when is my next break? Like, when do I get to break? Because I was too up and down. I couldn't.
It is sort of hard to be in the moment. I think hormones really do get in the way of that. Like really trying to enjoy your life, especially if you hurt. Like, it's like, and also I think a lot of times with the weight, you are more tired, right? We carry more, this is back to the hormones. We carry estrogen in our fat cells, and I just think that when you're unbalanced in general, that's the case. I did this, I did this video when I first started, and nobody knew me at all. And I was like trying to get the attention of the doctors. And I was like, why do I feel said way that you just described? Like, why is my anxiety just off? Why am I able to be why am I in a better place? Like this isn't just weight loss. Like, cause I've lost, at the time I had lost about 30 pounds. So it was like the normal 30 I always lose on my own, and Dr. Rosen was one of the ones that was like, well, what's going on? And he's a bariatric doctor or surgeon, right? So he was like, what's going on is because you have that level of satisfaction. He was like, your brain is sort of like, we're all good. We don't have to worry where our next meals come from. Like, we're square, you know? And so I think he was saying that, like, in general, what people are reporting is because of that, the reduced anxiety, all of those things, and you do feel more balanced and you can enjoy those things, you know? So I think, I don't know if that's true, but that's what he said. And he's a doctor.
So
I'm just
interesting.
yeah.
Sounds,
Yeah, really
sounds true to me.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Like, I think that when people, and going back to kind of things, I think with shortages and thinking about like maintenance and things like that, you know, y'all know, I've been seeing so much stuff. And Janine is like the best researcher in the world. So she sends me all this stuff. And
about the PBMs and the
yes. And like,
stuff.
we're also seeing like people doing compound, mixing it in their house
at home,
mixing it at home, doing research grade compound that says not for human consumption, you know, salts, they're showing people how to do it, like with guides or with demonstrations and like offering coupon codes. And we're also hearing that people are individual selling semaglutide to other people as in individuals. It's not even coming from compound pharmacies. There's Groupons. Like, I am so concerned for our community, which is why I called on Rosie for help, right? Like, I was like, help, we have to get loud because this is just awful. And like, they're all doing this because they have experienced it's not the weight, it's what comes with the weight, right? It's not just being lighter and being in a smaller size. It's experiences, right? Like exactly what you're talking about, Kelsey, you know,
freedom.
And you can't go back.
That's it.
Once someone grants you freedom, you can't be like, it's cool, I'll see you maybe if I get my medicine again. So people are taking these extreme risks that are likely unsafe. And what drives me crazy is that insurance is going to have to pay for that shit down the road because those people are going to get sick, you know? And that's just what's going to happen. And so nobody's helping anything. Like, it's just a constant, it's cyclical. It's like, it's vicious and it's driving me mad. And I hate that because people don't realize it's not just fat people wanting to be skinny.
Yeah.
It's fat people wanting to live a life and enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it's driving me crazy. And
we deserve it.
We do deserve it. Yeah. We deserve to live a good, healthy, full life as much as anybody else. And it is a disease. It is a recognized disease, you know, and I'm hoping that by these kinds of things, you know, talking about this and y'all, Rosie was on our show today.
I cannot wait.
Oh my God, we're going to drop it on Friday. And she has type 2 and she was like, I don't know why people are so upset with the people that don't have type 2. I wish I had not had type 2. You know, I wish, why can't we give it to them now? So they don't have type 2. Why can't we get it for everybody? And she was like, it was so cool. She was like, and we'll have it on the show. She was like, I offered Eli Lilly, I will be their spokesperson if they just lower the price or keep a coupon. I will do it for free.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Sure
so I'm like, we're going to blast that. Y'all, we're going to blast that because we're trying, like, we may not move a needle, but if we could just help one person, like, you know, I'm really hoping that happens, you know,
it's wild.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I've had a lot of people, or I've seen these, I don't know if they're real accounts or what, but on TikTok, they'll use my videos to try to sell these fake medications.
I have one I'm going to send you.
Of me? Yeah, it happens a lot.
Like Michelle says 0.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one I blocked and reported, and TikTok said, "Oh, we found nothing wrong." I'm like, they're impersonating me. No.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff like that. And or people in the comments where I'll get people commenting saying my insurance isn't covering, or I can't find my medication this month. And I'll get people spamming it saying, call this phone number and I'll send it to you. And
and they sneak it in, right? They do that in the comments. So like they'll go to a comment and then reply to a comment and they'll reply to that comment and they'll sneak in that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and find it. And the more because of the podcast, right? We get more followers, you know, and new people in the community, they don't know, and they're just desperate for knowledge, you know, and then when that happens, it's so hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
You know, it's so hard. And I want to help all the people in all the land, but I can't get to all of them. I can't even imagine what it's like for you guys.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and it's like, you want to help everybody. And I think that kind of goes back to like, I don't know. When we were talking about how kind you are, both of you, very kind. And it is, I thought something I see, like Rachel and I talked about it before. Like we think that we're very want to fix things and please people and help. And did we do that to overcompensate because we want people to notice that we were large, you know, like we were living
I'm still doing it. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to stop.
Yeah.
It's something
I
that
a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
love when you just like snark off though. Like when you're just like, when someone just, but you always make it funny. That's what's kind of cool. If you don't just like rip into them, you're like, let me do this and drink a soda and let me do this. And like, it's so entertaining. And I'm like, do it all
drink a Diet Coke now. You know, don't like forget the Diet Coke.
Do a little clap back.
Flavored water.
Yes. This is my water. It's fine.
It's water.
It's water.
It's amazing. I'll even text Kelsey like a troll comment that I get, and I'm like, you know, I'll respond to it, but I'm scared to even be that, you know, and she'll be, next thing I know, I see all these, I'm like, oh, she's so good at that. And she's got them. And she's almost madder than I am sometimes. And it's funny when that happens, when people get that way, you're like, you know, maybe I'm, you know, my self-esteem is telling me maybe I deserved it or something like that. And she's like, nope, I'm getting in there and I'm going to stop them. And
that's good. That's a good gut check, friend. Like that's really good for you guys. Like I think having someone else kind of, it's not that it's just the level of support. It's like, and I do that with Janine. I do it with Rachel a lot. Like, I'm just like, is this me? Like, cause there have been times before where I've seen people like in the beginning where I saw people taking like Mounjaro and I wanted to go in at them because they were skinny AF. And I knew there were so many people trying to get that. And I'm like, you need to stop that. And then before I would stop, I'll hold my Jesus. And then I would reach out. I reached out to Rachel once about this one particular person. And she was like, yeah, like they have lost like 100 and something pounds. They just look skinny now. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I wasn't a shithead and jumped in there and said all those things because I'm just as bad as they are if I do that, you know? Yeah. And, but like, I mean, I think that's probably a good rule of thumb, right? Like just hold your Jesus. Like, if you don't believe in Jesus, that's okay. You know, like, but like, it's so easy to get into that level of like, and then getting people fighting in the comments and stuff, you know, it just gets to be so crazy.
Intense. The fighting.
Fighting. Oh God. Like at one point I
fight in the comments.
People were basically saying the same thing. Let's not fight in the comments.
Yeah.
Like we're on GLP-1s. We're happy. We don't need to fight here. You know, like,
I wonder if there's people in our community that have fake accounts that try to stir up. I'm just saying, it feels a little bit sometimes like it's the calls coming from inside the house.
We know too much.
I don't think it's
know a little too much
outside of the realm of possibility. I think it's very possible. But, you know, but I would love to know where these trolls of, what is it, Eli Lilly Strong or like Eli Lilly Lawyer?
Attorney, someone like that was
the attorney one.
In my comments the other day, and very angry and just weird stuff's happening. I'm like, I'm just blocking.
Like, you are committing fraud. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I follow the rules. I am within the rules.
They kept saying, what would Eli Lilly say if they knew you were using this medication off label? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it's just, do you know how many medications every day are prescribed off label?
Yeah. They're going to take my $1,000 a month. Like they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I really don't think they care. If anything, and like we talked with, I don't know if you guys follow Lisa, but Lisa works in big pharma. And so she was on our Speculating Our Faces Off episode. And so we were just talking about like the coupon card and like all the stuff. And I was like, I think there's going to be another coupon card. I think that they're going to keep filling stuff. Now they are technically right now keeping to fill. But regardless, she was like, they can't do that because if they do that and they don't have the indication, they can get fined millions of dollars. And I was like, okay. But I think if you want to buy it, I don't think they care. I don't think it has anything to do with that. They just can't be seen as marketing.
They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to promote it, but they don't. Yeah, they know. You know, of course. I know that some.
I think they always knew that the card was so tricky. Like
of course,
it's a perfect. You know, and it was sneaky AF. And like I don't think there's any way. Like as a marketer for an enterprise, there's no, when you are going to put stuff in legal writing like that, the amount of people that you have to get to sign off on that is huge, you know? So, and you have to have a total addressable market. You have to have revenue projections. You have to have, you know, cost of what they call cost of ownership, but it just depends. Like this would be like the average cost of a patient. There's so much stuff you have to get people to sign up on. There's no way this company made a mistake that big. There's no way. It was very, very cleverly executed,
Yeah.
but now because of shortages, if you will, they're kind of, what are we
Yeah.
doing, and they're
Yeah.
making it look like that. And then like, oh, it's the fat people. Like, let's deflect. It's really the fat people taking all the medicine because they don't want to take any accountability,
Yeah.
right? None of them do.
Yeah.
It's like, it kills me, the media.
And I think you bring up a really good point, just kind of not on that topic, but having friends in the community to talk to about things like this for me has been crucial throughout this process. When I started posting on TikTok, and there were things that would happen, and even just related to the medication or just in the community or in our bubble, and I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I so badly wanted a friend. And then sort of Kelsey, we followed each other, and there's a lot of people I was friends with just commenting on videos and not really beyond that. And I found Kelsey because she had messaged me on Instagram and seen a post that I had posted somewhere in the LA area. And she went, "Oh, I was there last year." And I'm like, "Wait, where do you live?" And we found out we live about 40 minutes apart. And so it's a 20-minute drive each way. We meet up. But from that point on, we just started talking and texting and messaging. And it was like, oh, thank goodness I have somebody to go to. Or when things would happen, or trolls or rumors, I just was like, oh, it's so nice to have somebody to bounce this stuff off of and not feel so alone.
Yeah. And I think, and that's so much of it too, right? Is so much of obesity is being alone. Like I'm telling you guys, I have all the friends in all the land and they are amazing, but we do not talk about this stuff. And I have friends that have weight stuff. We still don't talk about it. I don't talk about binge eating. I don't now I talk my face off about like GLP-1s and all the things because, how can I not? I have a podcast about it, but I do find that like, there's something about the fact that people in our community understand the pain we've gone through. And they also understand the joy that we're feeling now. And that connection, it doesn't matter, what gender we are, what race we are, what age we are, we all get it. And that is like, for me, the power of community is it brings us all together, and I'm hoping that we can make that magic happen externally, like for more people that don't know where we are and maybe they don't have to die. Yeah. Maybe they'll go see their doctor. Yeah. And that's what this is all about,
Amazing.
So thank you so much both for being here. It's been an hour. So I know Kelsey has to get her kids too. So I want to cut your time. But it's been really great, guys. Thank you so much. And I know we didn't have our doctor on today, but I think this has been such a good conversation.
This was wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You guys are doing amazing things. So thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, I will, I'll exit stage and then y'all go where you need to go because I know you have things planned. And then she and I are going to wrap it up. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
Bye. Oh, yay. I know, they're so nice.
I think that was such a great community chat.
Yes,
seriously.
I do too. It was a good community chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nice to think about. It's cool to hear, like we all, and even you, Journey, like we've talked about, like you've dealt with obesity later in life, but even you have felt so similar to all of us. Like it is a common thread,
Yeah,
and
it is.
Yeah. And it's like, no matter, you may have felt it like in a different angle, a different way, a different time, but it's still something that we all understand,
Yeah.
So I think it was a really
carrying that. I mean, like you're literally carrying that. And I knew people looked at me differently because they're like, well, wait a minute, where was that girl from just a few years ago? Yeah. And now I look back at pictures, it was nothing but inflammation. It was inflammation.
Yeah.
Inflammation.
We have got to figure out what the hell is causing that inflammation. In general, like it's not just, and why does this solve for it? Like, I just don't, I want someone to be like, because they're talking about this helps with inflammation, but why? That's a study. We need to have Dr. Meyer back on, because she was the one that I think brought up one of those studies. Yeah. She's all about the studies and the data. I love that about her. Her and Weight Talk both get into the data. I love it. First, I know we're just like little data nerds now.
Listen, I am such a data nerd, and I'm just like, okay, well, the Thermount one didn't say that.
And wait a minute, they were actually at a 500 calorie deficit, and the stuff that I think about now,
as opposed to what you're eating.
Yes,
and you're wrong.
But it goes back to what Rachel says. We are amazed That's why we're doing this. That's why the time that we spend on the podcast, on TikTok, like on social, it's because we want people to feel as good as we do, and I think that's really what it comes down to. And I just hope that comes through to our audience, that they understand that we sincerely want good things for them, and anybody that needs this medicine, we want them to have access to it, period. And we want them to have affordable access to it, so we'll keep fighting the fight the best that we can. And I think so far what we figured out is we just try to get as loud as possible. And hopefully our Rosie episode will help us, and it's so nice to have a positive celebrity voice around GLP-1s. And she's just like the most sympathetic. She's such a kind heart. So if you guys haven't seen that episode, you need to go back because this is episode 14 and it's episode 13. Yay.
Yeah. We just had to switch it around a little bit. That's okay.
Yep. That's okay. It's all good. It's gonna work out. All right. Well, we have come to the end of our hour, 1 hour and 3 minutes. So I'm sure you guys are all maybe a little nerded out by all this stuff, but that's cool because Janine and I will probably talk about it for another 30 minutes, but it's all good. But we have loved having you here. We're going to do our classic sign-offs. And mine is probably always going to be that you are not alone. Clearly, there's a massive community here for the plus sides. And there's one on TikTok. Just find us. I'm Dinosaur Monkey Farts. There's no other.
You can't miss that name.
Yes. And I mean, like, there's no other one, and follow me. I don't mean follow me. It's like my story. I'm here to help you. Like anything that I can do. And it may take me a while to get back to messages, but I really do try. Comment on the Plus Size podcast. I manage that. So I'm happy to jump in whenever I can and help. Of course, like one of the biggest things that I think we learn every time we talk to someone is it's not your fault. They've proved it with science. It is not your fault. It isn't. There is medicine. So it's time to talk to your doctor. Okay.
Yes.
So no more aversion. And of course, hasta la pasta. How about you, Janine?
I was just getting ready to say, wait a minute. Where is the hasta la pasta? Where's the hasta la pasta?
Well, I drink my electrolytes.
Well, you all already know that I always sign off by saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. It really is. Just because you may be on a wellness journey and you're not where you want to be doesn't mean that you're not making progress.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're not going to get there. Like it didn't take you didn't get to the weight you are or the biology that you are overnight, right? Like
Overnight.
It stands to reason it's going to take some time. So just try to give yourself some grace.
Please.
It's going to happen. It's literally happening before your eyes.
Please give yourself grace. Do not be so hard on yourself.
Yes. And next week we'll have our cat back. Huzzah!
Cat will be back doing
fun stuff with us.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
I know, right? I really do think we should make that pillow that we talked about with Rosie, where we get a Mounjaro pillow and we put butt stuff with cat on it and put Mounjaro butt.
It needs to have a hole in the middle though, but it needs to have a hole in the middle.
We could do that. Yes, we could.
Yeah.
And then we could put it in the merch store and like, it would be a thing. It would be totally funny.
Mounjaro butt. Here you go.
Yes. All right. Awesome. We'll go ahead and let you guys get back to your life unless you're about to binge another episode. And then if so, enjoy. But we will see you next week. Hasta la pasta.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because Obviously, many of our listeners are going through the same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you have this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plussides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plussides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.